Complaints from neighbours has led SPCA Inspector John Hedimaya to investigate a serious problem at a property in Otahuhu.
I'm John from Auckland SPCA. Just here again, a complaint regarding the rabbits on the property.
Okay.
Okay, the concerns are these rabbits are in poor condition and some of the rabbits have been dying on the neighbouring properties.
Well, dogs must get them, but the ones that I do are fairly okay.
Can I have a look at them? I just need to check out the condition of these rabbits.
Okay.
The backyard is a shock to John, and he's amazed to find the section in poor condition and overrun by a large rabbit population.
There's actually quite a major problem here.
They're not underweight though.
Okay, my concerns are that, just the sheer numbers.
Even worse, some of the rabbits are sick and others injured.
And I noticed this one here.
Yeah, that was born like that, but it gets around.
Can you tell us how many rabbits that you know that you have on the property offhand?
I have about 12 up there and 3 here. And there's some little baby ones.
So when you started, how many rabbits did you have?
Probably about 4.
But as is their habit, the rabbit population has grown way beyond manageable proportions. A rabbit's pregnancy lasts only 31 days, and in one litter she can produce up to 12 offspring. Making matters worse, she can become pregnant again within a few days of giving birth.
This is a major problem that we have here. It could get worse if we do nothing about it. I've seen 20 so far, and that's a lot. Maybe 2 or 3 on a property is acceptable, but the 20 that I've seen so far is not. This could turn into a potential health hazard, so I'm not too sure if council is aware of the situation.
Although there is no legislation governing the number of rabbits a person can own, John does have a genuine concern, as some rabbits have been killed by domestic dogs in the area and were found rotting on neighbourhood properties.
I am concerned about the condition of the property and the condition of the rabbits. Basically, say 4 rabbits, you can have 4 rabbits.
I want more than 4, because I wouldn't know which ones. I want about 6.
The rabbit's owner is reluctant to part with her animals, but with the lack of vegetation on her property to feed them, John is insistent immediate action is required.
The main thing is that there is a problem here and it can only get worse. So are you prepared to sign the rabbits over to SPCA?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really concerned about the...
That's dingo.
Dingo, is that the one that's deformed?
But it's alive. It's just like a person that's been crippled.
Pauline, this is not good. Okay. I mean, well, you know, you're doing the best for it, but I mean, really, that's not good.
He's the only one sort of like that.
Okay, I'm going to take him today, okay, and make him comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
Not good. It's just got beyond her, the sheer number of rabbits. Out of all the rabbits that are on the property, we cited of this one and another rabbit that may have an infection in its ear. We'll head back to base and see how we could remove these rabbits. It's going to be a big job.
John will return to this address at another time to catch many of the remaining rabbits running wild in the area. Across town at Mount Richmond Park, a catch of a different kind is on the minds of Inspectors Sue Bourdet and Kevin Plowright.
Somebody called there's a sheep here that apparently escaped from the abattoir 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And has merrily just been hanging out in here for the past 3 years, but of course hasn't been shorn and is struggling somewhat with the heat. Also, the caller said that the sheep's lame and is struggling to get around. I've just had a quick look. She's just resting at the moment behind there with a few cows under a tree.
We're going to have a look.
Okay.
The inspectors have hatched a master plan to catch the sheep, but are not expecting a struggle because the sheep was reported to be lame.
You go one side of the tree
Yeah,
and I
pretty
go the
much.
other.
And wherever we get her, then we bring the van over,
Yeah,
pretty much. Because
yeah.
I think trying to manoeuvre the van right now, and because once we've got hold of her, we've got hold of her.
If we can get hold of her and then
Yep.
just hold her down on the ground and we'll
Sure.
sort it from there.
Okay,
We'll
I'll
run with
come
that
round
one.
this way then.
Yeah. We'll just do it nice and slow.
That's not what we wanted to happen.
But our lame sheep has other ideas. He's proving to be a sprint champion. Using his friends, some local heifers, he's determined to give the SPCA inspectors a run for his wool. The sheep escaped from his near-death experience at an abattoir close by, so he's not about to succumb to a haircut easily.
You round the back, Cav.
The sheep shows no sign of being lame and is proving a real escape artist. Could this be the case of a sheep that thinks it's a cow? It's certainly an unusual sight to see a sheep coveted by a group of heifers.
Slowly walk them into that corner, so if you just hang back.
Sue and Kevin grab a friendly passerby to help manoeuvre the sheep into a tight corner.
Where she is, where's she? Right at the back.
She's right at the back. What's the plan?
We need 2 people as a wall.
Plan B is all about strategy.
Yeah, what we tried to do was to pen them in the corner. Unfortunately, he hung out with his cattle mates and hung out in the middle of them. What a fighter.
But it's not long before a trusty tackle brings the sheep to the ground.
She's going to go and get Sean and live happily ever after now.
Sue phones a local shearer, hoping to convince him to do a house call.
We're at Mount Richmond and we've just caught this sheep that escaped about 3 years ago from the abattoir and hasn't been shorn in that time. Could you come to Mangaree tomorrow? Yeah, all right. That would be awesome if you could.
Unfortunately, there's no one immediately available, so the decision is made to take the sheep back to the SPCA for its first shear in over 3 years.
Oh, sorry, sweetie.
Go on, you big lump. Mission accomplished.
The SPCA received many of their complaints from disgruntled neighbours, and today Inspector Karyn Lowndes is responding to reports of incessant barking in Mount Albert. Karyn's surprised to find some dogs she has uplifted before, but from a different address.
This is the same dogs that I uplifted from a address in Avondale. They're the owner of the pet supermarket, where we removed all his dogs for keeping them in little cages. He got most of those dogs back. I then found him in a property in Avondale where he had all the dogs nailed in little enclosures underneath his house that he was kind of breeding or keeping from excess from the pet store. He moved from that address and I've just located him here now.
Karyn's made a major effort to re-educate the owner on just how to look after a dog.
SPCA officer come here to teach me some more details to how to take care of them.
But unfortunately, he may have more lessons to learn. Karyn has concerns about the future for these dogs now the pet shop is closed, and he seems to be running a makeshift boarding facility for dogs.
They're not his dogs, he looks after them for Asian students who their visa expires and they go back. So this is how they stay while they're in China.
And after spotting some Samoyed pups, Karyn's also worried the property owner is a backyard breeder.
You know, what's the future for these 4 Samoyeds? They're worth probably $1,000 each, and they'll be going to the same sort of homes that their parents are living at. Lots of poo there, but there is 4 puppies in there, so I suppose it only takes one night to get looking like that, and there is some water down.
On further inspection, Karyn discovers even more dogs on the property. Some of these she has previously removed from another address.
Here's the other ones that I uplifted. Hello. I uplifted all 10, yes, and when the owners came back from China, obviously once I did a home check, all the dogs had to go back to the proper owner. They paid about $2,000 per dog to get them back from us, and we gave them a written warning and instructions not to house them like this anymore.
Karyn's identified 10 dogs on the property and is keen to get an explanation from the owner.
Hello? Just try the other door. Okay, I can't raise anybody. They're there, they're asleep possibly.
Before leaving the property, she wants to check on the dogs living in the garage and finds even more cages, leading to suspicions more canines are on the way.
There's lots of other cages here, collapsed cages. It's not illegal what he's doing. The dogs apparently are registered here. He's got a lot of dogs, so I will be talking to the council in regards to permits for the amount of dogs that he's got on the property. I don't like how they've been housed, as I've explained. It's incredibly frustrating with the crate rules. Minimum standards are simply say that they need to be able to move around, and those dogs can. There is a possibility they've just been in there overnight, I doubt that, but I've just got to go with that at the moment and pop back this afternoon. I can pop back every day if I like, so we'll do that. We will change the conditions for the dogs.
But for now, Karyn has decided to uplift this dog on the grounds of inadequate shelter.
Good girl. Nervous little dog. I know.
Karyn leaves a notice and will return later hoping for some answers from the owner about the dog's living conditions. SPCA inspectors have called in Mr. Clip to shear the sheep formerly running loose in a suburban park.
Apparently we think he's a he, escaped from the abattoir 3 years ago.
Yes.
And has been living happily at Mount Richmond Park.
Yeah.
With a bunch of cows.
After 3 years running with the cows, he's not enjoying his time confined in the SPCA paddocks.
We're just setting up our wayward sheep in the pen area here, somewhere where it can't get out from. He did look around for a way out. He's been on the loose for about 3 years doing whatever he wants. He's not too keen on this confinement, but he will be happy when he gets shorn for the first time in ages.
As you can see,
you think it's a Perrendale?
I think he's a Perrendale.
They are the toughest sheep that there is, the most resistant sheep to worm. Okay. So they are the one that is likely to survive this length of time. Most sheep that go over 15 months of wool, when they get wet, they obtain 7 times their own weight in the wool. So therefore they normally tumble over and normally they die. So he's either got to be fairly cunning to be able to get in and out of the rain a bit and hide. So he must have been doing things like that. And that's the only way that Shrek ever survived, was that he used to go and hide in a tunnel.
He's pretty feisty, and I'd say
well,
he's
that's
pretty
why
cunning.
he can
so
survive.
Come and have a look.
More than likely he is a male.
His survival instincts are similar to those of our beloved Shrek the Sheep, and like him, he's proving to be one tough customer.
So this is why he survived, is because he's obviously a winner on life. I'll tip him over anyway, I can do. He is a male. Yep. He's nice and tame. Once you just get them in on their feet like that, you find that the wild ones actually go quite quiet. I suppose we could do it the old way. These little hand shears are the totally mobile clippers.
All right. And it might be less stressful for him, maybe, without the machine?
Shearing them by hand, like you say, leaves a bit on them. It's not such a big shock. Well, he won't get any sunburn anyway with a little bit of wool left on him.
It's a sizable fleece that's coming off after 3 years.
Maybe 11 kilos or more. One more bit there. There we go.
Excellent.
And he's done. So there he is.
But his makeover hasn't subdued his fighting spirit, and he's making it clear to Sue he's not too keen to make friends in this neighbourhood.
Bloody hell.
Even the dog is no substitute for his cattle mates at Mount Richmond.
See? Sue. That's quite a good jump there.
Concerned the sheep may cause him self-injury, the inspectors decide to immediately return him to his familiar pastures.
It's all right, I got him by the back leg.
OK. You got him?
He's got me.
1, 2, 3.
You're going home, mate.
With his new look, Sue and Kevin are hoping his cattle pals will still have the same affection for him. Another matter of concern for the SPCA is the rabbits running wild in a neighbourhood in Otahuhu. With little vegetation on the owner's property, the animals have gone looking for other food sources to survive.
John's name?
John, Robbie.
How have the rabbits been affecting your property?
Not only my property, but other properties around the street. What they've been doing is coming through the hedges and they ate. A lot of the neighbours that are adjacent to their property, they've put tin up against it to stop them from coming through. And of course they do get through because they tunnel.
Some local property owners have resorted to simple measures to protect their produce from the mouths of hungry rabbits.
There is a problem at this address,
It's a problem, right. How many have they got there now?
About 20 plus.
About 20 plus. Well, if you do make a catch over there, I'll get you to go over and have a look in the park over the back here. Because sometimes in the mornings and that I've looked over the fence and there'd be about 7 or 8 of them out there in that park. The neighbours here, they've all been complaining about them. Right. Because they're a bloody menace.
OK, our plan is to try and remove them.
Yep.
Try and get them all at once. It's going to be a big job, so that's the plan.
Good.
OK?
OK, yeah.
Thanks, Robbie.
Kia ora.
John's plan is to confine the rabbits in one location with a picket fence, but it may not be enough. Rabbits are well known to burrow down under fences and escape. Nevertheless, the SPCA are prepared to go to extraordinary measures to save them.
We want to try and save these rabbits. The end result, if we're unsuccessful, pest control would come in and just lay poison. Hopefully we don't need to get that far.
After the fence is completed, John uses food to lure the rabbits into the enclosure, and so far it's working. Karyn's returned to a property where she suspects the owner is backyard breeding and running a makeshift kennel for dogs, though it's not the first time the SPCA has had to intervene. It's soon clear no one has been checking on the dogs.
So it is heating up in here as well. It is getting hot.
Keeping dogs in cages in an unventilated garage where the temperature is around 28 degrees is totally unacceptable, so Karyn makes the call to uplift the 4 dogs here. Even though one of the adult Samoyeds has been clipped, the heat in the garage would still be unbearable.
See the length of the claws? They're long claws because she doesn't get a lot of exercise, spending a lot of time in one position. Other than that, she's also in good body condition though, but she doesn't do much sitting in a cage all day, does she?
The Samoyed puppies remain in the sleep out, but no one has tended them since Karyn's last visit.
It's 2 o'clock and the puppies are still in the same spot with no food. These dogs needed to be at least out. They need to be fed at least 3 times a day. They're only young puppies. So I'm going to take these ones as well now. It's just too late. It's too hot in there and these puppies have been left for too long, so I'm happy to take them now. Come here.
Like the other dogs, these Samoyed puppies are in good condition. But the environment that they're living in is unacceptable, so Karyn makes a call to uplift the puppies as well.
Like I say, they've probably been in here all night and then all day today, and they need feed down for sure. No one's come home to feed them, so.
You guys come together.
It's awfully hot in there as well. No one's home, obviously. I've just left a notice of entry on his door to let him know that I've been on the property and removed all his dogs, apart from the little one here that's free running. What will happen from here is that I possibly will interview him again, and the dogs won't be coming back until he sets up some sort of adequate environment for the dogs to be in. I don't want them back in the crates or being used as backyard breeding.
Inspector John Hedimaya is having a few difficulties rounding up numerous rabbits causing a problem in a South Auckland suburb.
Fence setup didn't work, so the next option is to try and grab them individually.
His plan to lure the rabbits with food to a confined area failed, and now the owner's been called in to assist.
Colleen at the moment's trying to entice the rabbits in with the food that she's got. As they come forward, she's grabbing them and I'll just go give her a cage.
Colleen's rabbit collection started with 4, but after several bred, many are now running loose in the area. John's here to remove them so they can be desexed and then rehomed from the SPCA's rabbit adoption area.
She's got some baby rabbits that she managed to catch earlier, so we'll take those as well. Basically, we'll try and take the lot, whatever we can. It's proven to be quite a difficult task, catching a whole lot of rabbits. It's not the easiest of jobs.
Colleen doesn't want John to remove them all, which is proving a difficult task anyway.
I think the best thing we could do is maybe if I go leave the property, leave a whole lot of cages and get Colleen to gradually catch them and trap them for us. I think that'll be the easiest way and less stressful for the rabbits.
The rabbits have been Colleen's pets for many years, and while she doesn't want to lose them, she knows they may fall victim to the dogs in the area if they're not removed. There are about 20 rabbits in the vicinity, but as they are known not to like being picked up, John needs Colleen's help to remove them.
We managed to get 7, which is a good start, so we'll just take it from here, just one day at a time now. There's plenty of room back at base for these rabbits, so let's hoping that they'll be rehomed.
John's hopeful the neighbours' complaints will soon die down and Colleen can get her property back in order. The cheeky sheep has survived another road trip to return to familiar pastures and old friends.
OK, well, we're back at Richmond Park. We've shorn the sheep. He is extremely stressed. He just wasn't coping in captivity. Bloody hell. He's been living here now for 3 years, happily with the cows, and
I think the heifers are missing him too, so it'd be good to reunite them all.
Oh.
Isn't that beautiful, love?
That's so sweet.
All the heifers are milling around him. He's back in with the herd and they're looking for his leadership now.
So, despite his new look, he's as popular as ever.
Look, you see,
He moves,
he's
they
moving,
follow.
they follow.
Lucky he's neutered, we might have woolly cows.